Hey YouTube, just wanted to do a video in response to Netlord80 and the question he posed about original sin. Now, one of the things that I found there are a lot of assumptions when it comes to religion and faith and the nature of God and suffering. One of the assumptions that's widely held on both sides that I believe is incorrect is that God knows everything. I disagree with that, and I'll give you a reason why. Specific example I can cite, one of which is not only the tree, because when God came back, he didn't automatically know. They had to admit he didn't know what was going to happen before it did, and when he saw them, he had to ask them what was going on. He didn't automatically know. The other example is a little more concrete, specifically it involves the flood and Noah. Now, God became angry at how far mankind had fallen, how far away from his teachings and everything, and he got angry, so he decided he was going to destroy the world with water. Now, he does this, and after the fact, he looks around and he regretted his actions. If he was all-knowing, he would have known, he would have regretted it later, and he wouldn't have flooded the world in the first place. So, he is not completely infallible, based strictly on what's in the Bible. He regretted his actions, and then he made the covenant with Noah that he would never destroy the world with water again. And hence we've got the rainbow. That was the sign of it. Now, this being said, why the tree, there were actually two trees in the garden that man wasn't supposed to eat from. One was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the second was the tree of everlasting life, which is why after they ate the tree of knowledge of good and evil, he kicked them out of paradise, or Eden, whatever you want to call it, because God was worried that man would eat from the tree of everlasting life. Something similar with the Tower of Babel. God was worried that if mankind could work as one cohesive unit and be completely at peace with one another, then that man could one day rival God. Again, if you take literal interpretations, that he's all-powerful, this completely omnipotent being, that wouldn't make any sense. So there are a lot of things in the Bible that point to he's not as all-powerful as he's made out to be in some cases. Is he way more powerful than us? Absolutely. He could wipe us out in an instant if he wanted to. But, that being said, he's not infallible. One of the other things with God casting down Satan and then the serpent tempting man and all of that, it's basically suffering is a result of evil. And kind of brings you back to the thought of one of the basic laws of physics. Everything has to be in balance for it to exist. For example, without darkness there can be no light. Without light there can be no darkness, respectively. Everything has to be balanced, or one will destroy the other. Everything has an opposite. When things become out of balance, one completely consumes the other. So there is a balance. There is a very strong evil force, just like there was a very strong good force. God and Satan, specifically. One of the other things that can be noted as well, there could be other influences to consider too, that aren't gone into in the Bible, but there are hints that it's possible that there could be. Specifically, when giving the Ten Commandments, God said, "Thou shalt have no gods before me." He never said that there weren't any others. which was kind of interesting. He referred to himself as the one true God. He never said he was the only God. Looking at the way it's written, there's some room there to ponder. Questions we don't have answers to, but it's something that's worth thinking about sometimes. Also, I mean, in order for us to be able to go to God and go to heaven, we have to choose Him. Which, without an alternative, we can't choose if there's only one option. There has to be more than one option. Which is why, well, a lot of things are the way they are.